Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hey yo, good day and welcome to my channel. Yeah, so this is me painting a new page, page 12? Page 13, sorry. No, 12, yeah, no, you're right, page 12. Right the first time, as I was. And yeah, welcome. I am chit-chatting here, just myself today. I have had many art guests in, and it's been great to have so many artists be in my channel and to chat with them. This week I'm just chit-chatting on my own. I've got to do a few pages to go. I've got a video coming up for my monthly draws, so that will be next week. This will only be a pretty much part one per se. I mean, I've already done a few ones of this already. I think there was one or two parts already to this. So you'll see, when I finish off the playlists, you'll see all of these in the playlists. And you'll be able to watch from start to finish, how did I start painting this to me finishing off. You can see at the start I cutted a lot of stuff from page 11 and I placed it in and then reused it, so it would save me a lot of time, a lot of painting time, and it did, and it made it so that this was only going to be one part. This is kind of good and kind of bad in a way. I don't get like multiple videos out of it. It's good for now because it fits in now that I can do my monthly draws next week. So it fits in, fits in with my schedule. It works well, which was good. Yeah, and that's where it was. I could have extended it a bit further, but I decided not to. Keep working on other stuff. I've got quite a few pages to go. I've got 13. I'm working on trying to finish that now. I'm very close to being finished with page 13. But it's still probably maybe a couple of percent to go on it. And even then, I would probably, call it finished, come back and just do whatever little tweaks I need to do just before I publish it or whatever. Well, print it just before I print it, or get it all ready to print, all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm doing that at the moment, getting it all done quickly. Probably do like test print soon, in a couple of weeks or so, depending on how things go. We've been in a little bit of a lockdown here in New Zealand. There's been lockdowns all over the world. Some worse than the others. And here in New Zealand, we have alert levels and different kind of lockdowns. I don't think I expanded on this much in the pandemic. One video I had up a few weeks back, drawing through the pandemic one I had up. But I just was on pretty much level 4 lockdown then, which it is basically you advice to stay at home. I think I did talk a little bit about it, and we're slowly going to go back down. This will mean that more businesses will open, so I may be able to get my book printed. Even though I'm not really at the stage yet, I'll probably, once I kind of done page 14, I'll do a test print pretty much, just a quick little booklet test thing of it, cheapest, excuse me, cheapest chips print, that won't cost me much. Low quality paper, it's just a quick print to see if it's all working, to test if if I've got my pages correct, because I've got to sort out with printing, how to print it, how to bind it, everything like that. I do know those things, so I've got to sort that all out, which can take a little while, now a couple of hours or something of me just fiddling around trying to print pages off. Make sure everything's working alright, that all the pages are in the correct slots and it's reading okay, and I physically get to see what the text and what the feel of the book is like. If I do a test print like that, it does help to have a test print before you go and print, spend anything more expensive for you. Basically, if you spend more out of your pocket, basically, if you just go, you might have your own setup with a printer and everything, so that might be cheap for you to print stuff, so do it that way rather than going to the actual printer and printing it. You got all your lovely work and all your text and everything ready, but I advise do a test print, or quick, cheapest way you can print it, basically. Not perfect color, you can see if the coloring is alright, because you could use here in Photoshop you could use a color layer and just maybe change the hue a little bit, because when you print it, it's a little bit off or something like that, but digitally it looks different. You can do things like that if if it does look quite bad printed. That's unfortunately not the final look as well, because sometimes printing on glossy or printing it on different papers can give off a different kind of a color look. Usually kind of similar though. But yeah, you'll play around with those things sometimes. Definitely when you get into more the printing side of things. But yeah, so this week I kind of wanted to discuss a little bit more about this idea of living for the weekend. The idea of just getting through the week, getting your work done, and then just the weekend's the point where it's the best time in the world, and the rest of the other days really suck. I mean, for me it's not like that. No, I don't just live for the weekend. A lot of people do, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to have a sucky week, and then Saturday, Sunday have the best days in the world, and then come back Monday and you're like, like, there's a lot out there that do that, and it kind of is sad in a way. There is more to life than just the weekend. There's more to getting through life with not just living for the weekend. For me, it is tough during the week to get illustrations done, to keep painting. When I've had a hard day's work and I come home, have to do stuff, have tea and everything. Get to do my painting by about 8:30 at night or something. 7:30 at the earliest. At the earliest though, that's like usually it's not that. It's usually about 8:30 at the latest, when I get in the room, and then it's like, well, I want chill time sometimes, so depending on the what I've got on, like the Tuesday streams, or a stream like this, or I've got to actually kind of edit a video, or I've got something else to do other than painting. Usually I do want to come home and then I like to relax out, just playing a game or something for 30 minutes, whatever, for a little bit, and then I start, might do some warm-up sketches or something, and then, then I get back into painting this, whatever page or book or whatever I'm working on, keep painting on that, and then, once I've done a decent amount, like once it's about 9:50, usually about 9:50, 10. So I get about hour and a half, 2 hours of painting each night, really. And then, you know, from there, I decide what I'm going to do tomorrow morning that needs to be done, or because sometimes in the morning I get some hours done or get some stuff done. Sometimes decide whether, I always look at that every week, how things are going. Constantly look at that. It's not just like, oh, I gotta get all this done in the weekend. I'm looking forward to painting all weekend and all that stuff. I've really got to jam stuff into the week as well. I can't just work sucks, blah blah, come home and not do anything. I've only got so many hours and like 2 or 3 hours, and not get anything done. And then wait for the weekend, and then there's something else that comes up or other things that I've got to do on the weekend, or I want to do other stuff like go for a walk with the family. I can't really do a lot at the moment because of this lockdown. We can't go, every couple of weeks or so we were going swimming, or just going out doing something every week or so that's different. It's always good to do those things as well. It's good to have that time on the weekend where I can go do that kind of stuff. And sometimes if I'm lucky I can get some time off and do that during the week sometimes. But yeah, I enjoy what time I do get during the week as well. Work for me isn't the best thing in the world, but it does give me more time to illustrate as well. I don't have to, well, in the long run, kind of a thing. I don't have to worry and look and apply for jobs as much. I do, try to apply for what I can, but there's not like a big urge to try and find a way to get income, and yeah, I don't have to worry about the thing. I do get a little bit less time to paint, but when I come home, I don't have to worry financially, I can just continue my YouTube stuff, continue my painting, keep on schoolism. I'm doing my schoolism at the moment, and that's the thing too. I'll try during the week to watch as much as I can of that, whether it's YouTube videos of artists that I listen to, or some tips about stuff during the week. Like I think been watching a little bit of Proco, YouTube channel Proco, a little bit of that lately. I've been tuning into that again, because it is helpful, and I'm still learning that kind of stuff, like learning the muscles and learning the body, and learning animal bodies as well. I'm trying to look into that. I try to do things differently each week, as well. For instance, sometimes I try to do early morning stuff if I do really need to. It's I'm getting to the bare bones of it all, and I just can't you know, I can't keep up with the YouTube videos and things like that, that I'm really struggling. I do wake up early and get some stuff done if I really need to. I haven't lately, but I may do when I get to that point. Yeah. Or, you know, decide a bit late, or to work a little bit later as well. Whatever works, you know, to get the stuff done. But yeah, I do also, you know, I mean, it's not as good as the weekend, but I do enjoy the weekend. That's the main thing, you know. You got to enjoy kind of every day, and go with that. You know, every day's a different day, but I'm not exactly at the point to enjoy every day. You know, I'm not being able to wake up and illustrate every day. But I'd love to get to that point where, you know, even, you know, if it's just painting something, I might not exactly like what I'm painting, but the point is I am painting something or creating something. I would love to get to that point where I wake up and I'm actually drawing and painting. um, when I get to that stage, I mean, it's great to have, because every now and again, I do get some time off, or time that it's just me painting for a certain amount of hours, like 6 hours or something, straight. I don't get a lot of that, yeah, but sometimes I'm lucky I get that, but yeah, so, you know, I'm painting page 12 here, so that means, you know, I'm getting very, very close now to the end of the book, and it's been a long time coming, as I keep on saying. You know, it's been kind of it's kind of a big project, but it's definitely been pushed back quite a little bit because of maybe other little side projects that I just wanted to do at that time, to, you know, to take a break from doing this, as well as other things that have put me off, like, for instance, some job applications and things like that. I've had to do some art tests every now and again, so that, you know, is a couple of days. Usually it can be a couple of days, or of me just kind of focusing on, you know, applying for that studio or something like that. And that does kind of push it back sometimes. Yeah, as well as just, yeah, not having enough time to work on it sometimes. Yeah, I mean, if I was kind of doing this like 40 hours a week, I may have of gotten close to. I would have finished it way by now, you know. Probably maybe 3 or 4 months ago, at least, I might have finished it. Probably would have achieved way more than that, actually. But yeah, it is what it is, and I just enjoy creating it. And that's the thing, I do enjoy coming home and being able to paint what I can get done, and create new things as well. At the moment, I don't get to create a lot of new things apart from my weekly drawings that I do, my 4 drawings a week, and also I do drawings from reference each week. I'm doing, at the moment, 30 minutes of me drawing references. Just from, at the moment, I think I'm focusing on one image, just drawing that over and over again, until I kind of am ready to, I want to draw it from memory, kind of a thing, but I'm still going to use a reference until I feel confident enough on drawing it, until I've achieved um, the drawing, which is a pose of a woman that I'm drawing, um, until I've achieved, it looking like that. Then I will take that and draw it without using the reference. I'm just drawing it over and over again until, yeah, I get very close. And that's the thing, I keep doing that as well. I know it will take me a while, and sometimes it's I never get it right, but I just keep going and keep trying. Um, every couple of nights or so, I put in 10 minutes of me just drawing it. Um, some nights a bit longer, some days a bit longer. During the weekend, I may decide to go for a little bit longer and join that, and then work on my other stuff. Um, yeah, and during the week, I try to chew off little chunks of work. For instance, video editing or exporting, um, or maybe social media stuff like editing YouTube video, thumbnail tags, and stuff like that. Um, any little thing that I can do during the week so that there's not so much to do on the weekend does help as well. Also, the same thing goes around. If I do it on the weekend, it saves me time during the week to do other stuff. So it works vice versa, One, you gotta look at it in both. You can't. I kind of feel for me, I don't. Some people can. You can't leave it all for the weekend. You got to have some during the week that you get done, and you can't just rely on the weekend, because not all the time is the weekend going to be there. There are some weekends that you may be going away, or you may be busy doing other stuff with family or friends, so you can't always rely on that. So that's why I do, if there's stuff on the week that I can do to save time on the weekend, or know that there's some time on the weekend that's coming up that I won't be able to do this stuff on the weekend, I do it during the week, and vice versa. If I can do it on the weekend, I do it on the weekend, so that saves me time during the week. And I'm always constantly doing that as well. For instance, doing, say, weekly tips. I usually do now, it rolls quite nicely. I record the stream, the video, 5-minute, 10-minute video on the Sunday, and depending on the outcome of that recording, because sometimes I've only got like half of the piece together, other times I've got it all together, exported, ready to go on YouTube, and yeah, sometimes I've got to piece it together, and sometimes I still have to record. Like this week, I still had to record on Monday, because I didn't feel like the recording I was doing was exactly right for what I wanted to do, so I had to then decide, I need to like re-record it on Monday, so that's what I did. But usually it lines up quite good, so it's recorded and ready to go on Sunday, and then Monday morning I kind of put it together, or whatever I need to do, and then Tuesday morning I put it up on YouTube ready to go, and everything like that, thumbnail, everything is there. So doing that really helps. Sometimes, on Saturday or Sunday, I might prepare a few things, like if I know what a topic of my weekly tips is going to be, I try and prepare it a little bit before if I need to. Yeah, sometimes it comes to Sunday and I haven't done. I've been busy with other stuff. I'm painting this, yeah, and doing my videos as well. These these videos here, these take a little bit of time. You know, doing 40 minutes of just me chit chatting either with me or with artists, and then after I've got to put it to YouTube, thumbnail, all that other stuff. It didn't take too long to do all that stuff, but this is a little bit of time. It can be, it can be half an hour sometimes. Sometimes I'm trying to find a title, and things like that. And making the thumbnail, putting the thumbnail together, trying to find like some of the imagery for the thumbnail maybe. It can be interesting sometimes. Sometimes there's things that go wrong, like the recording of the video. Maybe I've had one that was it was not right on the stream, so I had to edit it and then export it and then put it on YouTube. So sometimes it goes really pear-shaped, but others it goes smoothly. The video sounds great. Yeah, and it works well. And it's like that, with me doing all this art and creative stuff that I do. It's never you know always right. There's hiccups, there's things that I've got to do, like I can't always keep up, so sometimes I do other stuff. Like I've done a few of me just drawing stuff, drawing from reference, just drawing references of people and animals, and doing this monthly sketchbook has helped in that, because it gives me one video a month. So it gives me a little bit of leeway to keep creating stuff and make sure that I'm at least like a week ahead for stuff. Yeah. So if you do party up for the weekend, I mean that's fine, but do think about the week. Enjoy the week. You should be out there enjoying your week. Whether you are at a sticky job, or you are a full-time illustrator or creator, or music player or whatever. You actually enjoy your job. You should enjoy your week, whether you're living for the weekend or not. Because it makes it really, really hard if you don't. I mean, yeah, not everyone's gonna enjoy their week, because some weeks suck and other weeks don't. I feel for me, this weekend is going really fast, which is kind of good in a way. But hopefully, it feels like the weekend goes. I get so much done in the weekend, because yeah, there is so much on my to-do list. It always is. So much on my to-do list. Finish this book. Keep creating and creating the next book. Do another painting. I want to do a traditional piece. So there's so much on my to-do list. Yeah, and I don't think I'll ever, finish a list. I don't think I will ever get to a point where I'm just done everything. There's nothing more to do. Yeah. Even if I'm stuck with what to do, what to create or what to draw, it might be someone out there that's stuck at the moment, if you're listening to this and you feel a little bit stuck or something like that, for me, I just draw a reference. I just draw what I see. Um, just go in and draw something. Um, you know, Random, or take a break. Maybe you've been doing it for too long. You've been creating, illustrating, and drawing all day, um, or week, and then you get to Friday or something, and you don't know what to draw on Friday. Just yeah, take the day off, come back the next day. If you do come back the next day and you're like, I don't know what to draw, well then I think you've got to get out of it. You've got to draw from reference. Just draw whatever you can find and create something. It doesn't matter what it is. Just even if it's a photo of one of your friends, or your children, or your family members, or your pets. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I started out um, getting into drawing animals and things. I really liked that, so eventually, I drew my cat, and then that led to me drawing all my pets, and then that led to me drawing more things like pandas, red pandas. I drew turtle, I drew lizards, um, and yeah, just keep creating, keep creating. Even if like what I did ages ago, like what I talked about, um, I did Pokemon for quite a bit. I just drew um, the Pokemon each day, one Pokemon a day, um, and a big project as well. I did a lot. I have had times where it's like I don't know what to draw, um, and basically I just kept drawing. um, I might have had a little bit of a break or something, and then got back to it. If I didn't know what to draw, I would be, just studying and learning new techniques, or trying to get better at drawing squares and triangles and circles, drawing shapes and creating things out of shapes. Um, just drawing from imagination, whatever, sometimes it's fun to do just doodling. That can help. I mean, I think I've seen a bit out there about like why you should doodle and things like that. Um, but that's in kind of in context. I feel like if you want to doodle. For me, I don't think there's nothing wrong with doodling. Just creating out of imagination just for fun. Um, keeping the creative juices alive. Just doodling out of your mind. But yeah, not all the time doodling. If you're doodling all the time, you're not learning. You're just kind of creating. You're just doodling around, messing around. Um, I think that kind of is the intention of those things. Doodle, um, but don't just kind of do that. Only that. Only doodle. There are some people out there that are quite successful at just doodling, um, you know, but it is a very kind of hard thing as well. Um, but some what may look like a doodle, to one person may actually be something they've actually created. For instance, like a look like per se Dr. Seuss. He's an awesome artist. Um, well, the illustrator for Dr. Seuss. Um, you know that artist is kind of what you would say some drawings you see are like a bit of a doodle, um, but um, some of them, that kind of style, there as obviously, they're well thought out, and that's the thing. Someone's doodle or someone's creation can be something that's well thought out, well placed. It may look like a doodle sometimes, but it is, a well placed drawing that's, all this and but yeah, if you're just mindlessly drawing, basically, you're not thinking about what you're drawing, then it's not exactly the best thing. But yeah, just mindlessly drawing sometimes during the week, is great too. Every now and again, I will just randomly draw something. It doesn't have to be anything. Eventually, it turns out to be like this dragon, or something odd. Yeah. Yeah. So don't know. Yeah. So me just polishing it off. I was here. I think there at the end of this video, I might still have a little bit to do on page 12, and not next week, because next week I'm going to be talking about my monthly draws and going through that, and there are some quite interesting drawings in there. I've done that for 6 months now, I think. Yeah, I think this is in my 6th month. And I was looking at stopping that, but it's like I want to keep it going for a little bit longer. I think every 6 months I'll look at whether I keep it going or I stop it. I'm looking at October. I'm like, it'll be the same kind of thing, but except it would be every day, and it would be with their words. So don't know. I'm looking at it. I'm like, do I do Inktober this year in this way? Whole year of warming up, and then I do Inktober. We'll see. I definitely think that I could do it. It would be a little bit more challenging than what I'm on now, which is the weekly drawings. But yeah, I think I might do it this year. We'll see how we go. It's still quite a few months to go on that. There are a few challenges like Mermay, as well, that I've never taken part of. I don't think I will. Drawing mermaids in May, that's coming up. I don't think I'll do that. I'd like to one year, maybe. Take part in that challenge. I think there's Smorgist as well. Drawing Smorg. I understand fully that, like dragons and stuff like that. In that month, and there's all these other challenges that come up. There's that session challenge too, and I have participated in some of those, which has been great to do. Obviously, it's been when I kind of maybe didn't have any projects at the time, so I did that. I didn't have any thoughts in mind of what I wanted to do. I was just going from project to project. Excuse me. Such a tiring week. But yeah, sometimes it's like that. I go from project to project. And with this here, my book that I've been creating for so long now, I haven't had to go from project to project. It's just been one big constant project, and then stopping that project to do other little projects in the meantime, kind of a thing. I haven't had to go from project to project. With going from project to project, you know, um, week after week or every 2 or 3 weeks, I can, you know, move into different things, like maybe, you know, jumping into like Mermaid, and then going into Smorgasbord, those challenges. I can chop and change what I'm doing and do different things. With such a big project, I can't do that as much. Otherwise, that big project um, will be pushed back a little bit more, or something like that. So I generally don't do that. So yeah, hopefully everyone has a good and safe weekend. This is Anzac weekend to commemorate all those soldiers out there. This Anzac weekend, this long weekend. So hopefully everyone has a safe and happy weekend. Yeah, this weekend. Hopefully you're not only just living for the weekend, you enjoy your week as well. Or have enjoyed your week. Hopefully you think about next week about enjoying your weekend. Let me know down in the comments whether you do, enjoy your weekend or you enjoy your weekend. I think, there's not exactly anything wrong with, just enjoying the weekend. But do make sure that, during your week, it's not so daunting. Because it's longer than a weekend. So if you're having all this time that's daunting, and having only this little time that's not daunting, not sad, then it kind of sucks. So hopefully you do find times to be happy during the week. So yeah, thanks for joining me. If you join me, whether you join me on Twitch or YouTube, I do appreciate it. Feel free to like this video if you enjoyed me chatting. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, weekly tips, these videos each week, monthly draws, and we'll keep drawing, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.